Alright, yeah, transfers. Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host, and I do hope you lot are all doing well. I really do hope that. Namaste. Chelsea news, welcome back to it. Of course, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I see what's been said around the rags, giving you my opinion, but of course, more importantly, asking for yours, dear viewer, yes, you, sitting there with your cup of coffee. I'm talking to you. Anyway, today I want to talk about how Marc Guehi's been announced. Yet another signing out the door, some more revenue generated for Chelsea Football Club, yet little to no noise when it comes to purchases. The Athletic, Liam Tchouaméni and Simon Johnson have written an article on this. I'm going to be citing a few extracts from said article to talk about what's going on with this transfer window. So get yourselves comfortable, subscribe if you want to. We're on a push now to 130,000 subscribers, and you can be a part of that, dear sweet viewer, my friend. Drop a like please, as it helps me in the horrible abyss that is the YouTube algorithm. You can do me a favour by liking the video. Anything else? Go check out Football Yannick. There's a link in the description. I've done a behind the scenes video on how I make football therapy videos, and you might be interested in that. So click the link in the description to check out my second channel, Football Yannick. Alright then, that's all said, let's jump into the first part of this video and talk about Marc Guehi. So indeed, Chelsea's young, well, not Chelsea's young anymore, Crystal Palace's young new defender from Chelsea is official. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Marc Guehi, the Crystal Palace player. Under £20 million apparently. I'm seeing reports of £18 million, which again is good for an academy product. Chelsea will be rubbing their hands together. For a lot of Chelsea fans who are excited about Marc Guehi, they'll still very much be disappointed. Although Chelsea have implemented clever things in the deal, they get sell-on clauses. You know, Crystal Palace sold Wan-Bissaka for $50 million to Man United. If there is a sale like that with Marc Guehi, Chelsea will get a percentage, I believe that's how it's structured. Also, they have the ability to match any offer for the player to buy him back. So Guehi gets the freedom of his own contract in his own career. You know, he's not under contract from Chelsea. If he does get sold on, Chelsea have the opportunity to match a bid, and they will be obligated to sell him to Chelsea rather than the other bidding club, which is a bit of a meh clause because the other club would just say, you know, 1 million more or whatever. Disappointing to lose a talent, but from a business perspective, it's best part of £20 million for an academy product who wouldn't sign a new deal, and you've got sell-on clauses, so probably everybody wins, I guess. Best of luck to Marc Guehi. I'll be looking forward to watching him at Crystal Palace. If he does really well, it will hurt even more. But hey, listen guys, Chelsea defend well. Systemically under Thomas Tuchel, defending isn't really a problem. So if we were selling an elite striker, maybe selling Armando Broja if he'd scored like a few more goals at Vitesse, he's very highly rated. Of course, he's just signed a new deal. That's been made official as well since I've done my video yesterday. When I spoke about it before it was announced. Goals come out of premium, apparently we defend well. So we'll see what happens. Best of luck to Marc Guehi, and yeah. And hopefully we don't spend 40 million on a centre-back that is the same as him. Anyway, let's move on and talk about this extensive Athletic article written by Simon Johnson and Liam Tchouaméni. Cool, so I'm going to read a few extracts from this article today. I'm not going to read the whole thing because A, it's quite long, and B, it's behind a paywall, and I don't think it would be right to read the whole thing. So I will leave a link to the article down in the description so you guys can go check out the full read. But I've selected a few parts of the article to read to you guys and then discuss with you, my friends, and hopefully we can understand a little bit more about what's going on in this transfer window. Because so far, Chelsea have done business, but they've generated money. They've made player sales. If they all these player sales together, I think I worked out if we sell Tammy Abraham as well, we'll probably make about £92 million in profit. 92. That's a lot of money considering you get the Champions League winnings, Champions League qualifications for next season, Roman Abramovich just being really rich. Roman Abramovich, am I right? Yeah, I wonder if anyone's said that before. Probably. Anyway, Chelsea fans are frustrated. So let's start in the article in a passage I've selected, reacting to that emotion in the fan base. The concern is understandable. Chelsea have failed to build from a position of strength after winning a major trophy before. The disappointing transfer windows following their 2015 and 2017 title wins are a major reason they haven't come close to finishing top over the last 4 years. So Chelsea fans are fearing that history is repeating itself once more. Of course, after we won the title in 2015 with Mourinho, didn't do necessarily good business and finished 10th for the following season, and then we walk the Premier League with Antonio Conte, same again, a bit of a meh transfer window with some panic buys, and we finish outside the top 4 the following season. You've got to build on a position of strength. However, this time some mitigating factors need to be taken into account and the club given some slack. For starters, they are looking to shop in the equivalent of the game's best luxury stores, not your local open all hours. That inevitably takes more time, effort and money. International competitions such as the European Championship and the Copa America this summer can also hold up negotiations between clubs, agents and players. Look beyond Planet Chelsea, and their Premier League rivals haven't been much busy either. Although Manchester United did secure a £73 million acquisition of Jadon Sancho while he was still away with England. True, but they've also been working on Jadon Sancho for over a year, and still they haven't announced him officially yet at time of recording. Yes, it's done, pretty much United and Dortmund have both confirmed that, so it is done, but they still haven't officially announced it, and they've been working on it over a year. So there's some truth in that. Look at the big elite clubs. Apart from like PSG signing everyone on a free, there hasn't been that many signings. What they need and what they want is no secret. Readers will be fully aware a top striker and midfielder are their main priorities, but getting them over the line is easier said than done. Barely a day goes by without some story relating to Chelsea's desire to buy Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund, and the repetition is clearly causing a lot of frustration among the fan base. Yeah, I mean, I'm a part of that frustration. I talk, probably on average every other day about Erling Haaland, but simply that's because I'm reacting to the headlines, as that's the structure of this series here on Football Therapy. But you could also say the same for journalists writing about the news. But this is how football transfer season works, I suppose. Let's read on. The Athletic have been writing about the situation since January and reiterated the impression last week that the Bundesliga club won't sell this summer. But inevitably, there are suggestions to the contrary, which is understandable. Chelsea's admiration for the Norway international is very strong and hasn't diminished. Basically them saying, look, he's not for sale, we're planning to have the season with him, and then Chelsea going, sell him though, we have lots of money. Ding. One of the recent reports amounting from Germany is that Chelsea have offered both Hudson-Odoi and striker Tammy Abraham as part of their bid. The Athletic has been assured there is no truth as far as the former is concerned, while Dortmund have no interest in the latter. Now this is interesting, so they have no interest in Tammy Abraham to replace Erling Haaland, and apparently there's no truth in Callum Hudson-Odoi being offered, which kind of makes sense, because also I think Dortmund would probably be interested in Callum Hudson-Odoi. They would love getting him as a Jadon Sancho replacement, and also getting the player that Bayern Munich, their rivals, chased for so long. You'd have to think they would love that. Naturally, Chelsea have to consider alternatives if they can't get Haaland this summer, or accept they'll miss out on him next year, when a €75 million release clause kicks in, and will obviously be far more competition on the table. Their former striker, Romelu Lukaku, is still admired, although he is happy at Inter and will cost more than £100 million, which is a grand sum for a player who's now 28 years old. Tuchel has confirmed he would like Harry Kane, but Chelsea's intense local rivalry with Tottenham Hotspur makes an agreement for the England captain to cross London very unlikely. Well, we know that so far. Erling Haaland probably not going anywhere this summer. Harry Kane almost certainly won't be allowed by his own current fans to go to Chelsea, and Lukaku, now Inter of Sold Hakimi, is a difficult situation. So that leaves us in a position where we're probably not going to get the 3 elite strikers. Do we turn to alternatives, or do you sit tight with just Tammy Abraham as the only actual striker at the club, and Kai Havertz playing down the middle now and again? To me, that sounds worrying for a season with loads of competitions. Prem, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, Super Cup, FIFA World Cup. There's a lot. There's a lot of games. We need a striker. There are a possibility of Chelsea going down a cheaper route if acquiring a top-class finisher isn't possible. One new name to be on Tuchel's radar is Stuttgart's Sasa Kalajdzic, who impressed for Austria at the Euros this summer, standing at 6 foot 7 feet tall. He wouldn't go unnoticed. Does Tuchel go for like the super tall men though? You just thought maybe it'd be more of like a kind of cloak and dagger false nine man. Maybe, let's read on. Stuttgart, who haven't been approached by Chelsea yet, will take a lot of persuading to cash in for the 24-year-old. The German Bundesliga club have already raised £34 million in club sales this summer, which was the target set before the market opened. It means they are in no rush to sell again, so will demand a similar amount for Kalajdzic, which is quite sizable when you consider he will be used more as a backup and is still developing his skills. Yeah, bearing in mind, Olivier Giroud is gone, who Chelsea did turn to a lot, so they need an extra body in there, even if it's like a rotational option. You know? Danny Ings is entering the final year of his Southampton deal. Chelsea might be tempted to look in his direction if nothing else materialises, even though he turns 29 this week. Yeah, with Danny Ings, I quite like the idea. Yes, he's 29, but you're going to have like 3 years of like top Premier League football. He's scored like 24 goals or something for Southampton in the Premier League. You just think in a higher chance creating side he'd score more, and he only got 12 months left on his deal. You're not breaking the bank. You're buying a striker that could start for Chelsea for 2 seasons should you want it, and then be a good backup striker. He'd still be years younger than Giroud when he gets to backup striker level. People are just so frightened of that. What if we paid £20 million for Danny Ings and he scores a bunch of Premier League goals for us? That's good! And you can still buy an elite striker next season. Good. Good. Anyway, let's read on. As for midfielders, Declan Rice is the name Chelsea have discussed the most. The Athletic revealed earlier this year that Rice has ignored any approaches from West Ham about a contract extension and hasn't given up hope for a move back to Chelsea. Tuchel has spoken to staff members about Rice and is believed to appreciate his qualities. However, the 22-year-old has 3 years left on his current deal, and West Ham have made it clear he would cost a fortune to leave. Sources have told The Athletic that the London club value Rice, who started all 7 games for England at the Euro 2020 final, around $100 million. The article then goes on to talk about how Chelsea could offer Tammy Abraham for $40 million the other way, do a deal there. And they also mentioned Tchouaméni, of course, the young midfielder in Ligue 1, who's highly rated and who could be considered an alternative for a double six option for Chelsea. And he's played in like a double six before, and basically he could be really good in that role. We'll see what happens. Look, this article essentially, the crux of it is, it's a very difficult market, and look at your Man Cities, you know, really it's just Man United and Jadon Sancho who's made a high profile purchase, and like I said earlier in the video, they've been working on over a ruddy year on that deal. So, yes, Arsenal might be getting Ben White for 50 million, but Chelsea aren't looking for that. They're looking for an elite central midfielder and a striker, and they're difficult. So we have to hang tight. Ultimately, Chelsea have a very good squad, a very, very good squad. They're just missing a couple of pieces for it to be fully functional and elite. But this current Chelsea squad with developing players with more confident, Kai Havertz getting better, Mason Mount getting better, you know, Timo Werner's form to eventually return. You know, young talents like Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, players like Ziyech scoring second half hat-tricks in pre-season. Chelsea have very good options and good players. They just need to develop and settle. But at the same time, fans want signings. So I'll keep you guys posted on any developments with this story. Make sure you keep it locked here on Football Therapy with the bell notifications icon clicked after you subscribe. Thanks guys. Drop a like on your way out and enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.